Hello. I decided to document me writing Johnny Blair. The story itself is emulated from Full Metal Alchemist. Not saying like beat for beat, but there's a lot of structure that I grabbed from Full Metal Alchemist because I think that's what draws me the most to it. And also, the I really enjoy about Full Metal Alchemist that it's about one thing, but it's really about like a lot more. The story about a kid who's trying to get his brother's body back and his arm back. So basically, he's trying to repair the things that he damaged, which was losing his arm and leg and losing his brother's entire body. But at the same time, it's about so much more. It's about religion. It's about politics. It's about life. It's about morality of like how far can God go and how far can science go, and what happens if you have neither. What happens if you have both? And Johnny Blair started out as this thing. My friend asked me. He said, "What kind of superpower would you want?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then we started like making up these really lame superpowers. Like one was to be able to chill like liquid, like not enough to freeze anything, but just enough to chill it. So it'd be lame, but it'd be still super because you get like kind of a warm beverage that needs to be cold. You just chill it a little bit, and then boom, we can't do anything with it. That's it. So I think that'd be fun. And so I started thinking in my head. I was like, what other powers could you get? And I thought about sound. For some reason, I was fixated on it. And I thought about it. I was like, there's not that many superheroes that have the power to manipulate sound. There are superheroes that have the power to enforce sound, like amplify. There's Canary, there's Shriek, Black Bolt. But those guys, they can't manipulate sound. They can only amplify it. So I thought it'd be really cool if there's a superhero that did that, and that's where Johnny Blair came in. And I was working at the grocery store at the time, and I was just talking shelves, and my brain started going like on this tangent of an idea of his backstory, and it started with like him. It started really horrific, where Johnny was forced to use his powers, but he wasn't ready to use them, so he kills Jay by accident, and that. For some reason, it stuck with me for a long time. Like, I was working in this grocery store in like 2012, I think. Maybe 2014. And so that was a long time. And this story has progressed all the way through, but like Full Metal Alchemist, it started with these, Johnny Blair trying to take down the birds, which is the Blue Jays and the Red Robins. And he wants to take him down with his misfit characters like Gadget and Ben and Atticus and Sadie and Jacob. And the whole story is just they want to take down this bird enterprises, this corporate security enterprise, because they are experimenting on kids. They're injecting them with X, and X is basically, have you seen the Powerpuff Girls? That's what it's based off of. It's just this X chemical that goes into the system, and people mutate basically but the problem is that they get kind of crazy. But Johnny Blair, he's the first ever person to get injected with X and not mutate. He is sane, but the problem is he's a lot of trauma, and there's a whole thing where X enters your part of the brain that activates anger to get you into fight mode. So you can use X properly, and that's the whole idea of X. But the problem is he has too much trauma and too much like life behind him, I guess. And so now whenever X gets injected, or whenever he uses his power, X gets injected into his brain. The chemical releases, but it releases too much now because he's obsessed with violence. And the story started out with that, and I was during my active addiction, and I was like thinking about this in my head. I only started writing this like 3 years ago, like on paper. The thing is, though, like Full Metal Alchemist, where it's just a story about two brothers, and Johnny Blair, as you can see, it's about Johnny Blair. The actual story is about addiction. X is addiction. X gets injected to your brain like a drug, And it makes you feel invincible. It makes you feel powerful. But at the same time, it makes you crazy. So that's what Johnny Blair is. Johnny Blair is a metaphor for my addiction. He has all this potential, but he has just too much baggage that he has to work through before he can be the best person he can be. And he got kind of born into it, you know? Johnny Blair, his mom, was one of the experiments, and she had a kid, and it was him. And she hit him and stuff in the vents, and that was fun, but he never asked for it, you know? He never asked to be part of that life. It just kind of got sprung on him. And I feel like that's a lot of my life, is that I never asked for the trauma that I had. I just kind of flunked on me, you know? I'm not complaining. I'm here now, I'm alive, and that's cool, but I never asked for that. Web series created by Felicia Day called The Guild. I watch this like all the fucking time. What I love is that the characters, you would not think that they would be this close at the end of things because they're so far away from each other socially. You know, there's so much variety in their character. So you wouldn't think they'd come together in such a solid way. And so it's really cool to watch, and I like that. And that's what I want with Johnny Blair. I want Johnny Blair, Gadget, Ben, Atticus, Sadie, Jacob not to make sense altogether, but I want it to make sense when you watch them together or when you read them together. That's how I feel. Writing's really hard. Just because I work a lot. This is my schedule. 4:30 wake up, eat, Johnny Blair. 5:15 leave. 5:30 gym. 6:30 leave, Johnny Blair a little bit. 6:30 work, and then 6 p.m. I get home. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I work on Johnny Blair. 9 p.m. write scripts. 10 p.m. wind down, and that's every day. Every day I do that. So I have 2 hours a day right now to write Johnny Blair, and maybe I'm the only one that'll read it. I hope it does well though. But maybe I shouldn't be so fixated on that. Maybe I should be more fixated on just finishing it. I'm going to use AI to illustrate it just because I don't have money or efforts to find an illustrator. So I figured that if I pay for the subscription for Mid-Journey, learn how to like program. I know some of it, and I put all the pieces together myself, you know, it makes up for the fact that it's not illustrated. But at the same time, it's like when you illustrate with AI, you're still doing a lot of work. Like it's not, you don't just say, you can't just put Johnny Blair and like the computer knows what you want. Like you have to make prompts and like get the exact prompts correct. I hope things go well. Sometimes I'm really scared that things won't go well. All this is kind of new to me. I'm like learning all of this stuff. I know like story structure. I know character design because I've been studying that for film. But like this is different, right? Because I can show that Johnny is like manic, overthinks, and dangerous. He's lonely and has no confidence in himself. I can show that, but with books and writing, you have to tell it. You have to, and I know with a film or anything, you have to write it, but you can just say that. Like Johnny feels anxious. Okay, cool. We're gonna make him anxious. You know, but like with this thing, I just can't say Johnny feels anxious. I have to be like Johnny's whole body froze as he looked at the red light. The red light made him think of his last time he saw his mother. You know. It shows quite anxiety, and then that shows that he's manic and PTSD from the escape. Like that I can. Anyway. So basically, the Red Robins and the Blue Jays are just internment camps, but through the public eye, they're seen as other things. Like the Blue Jays are seen as, I guess, training grounds and like group homes for the kids that have X that they are seen to be deemable, right? But then the Red Robins are a rehab, but they're really just a jail facility, an experimental facility for the kids that aren't deemable, that kids that are like, I don't know, that aren't Atticus, like that are Johnny, that are all fucked up, and they have to go to Red Robin because then they get experimented on more, and then those good batch of kids from Red Robins they get comatose and lobotomized, and they go to Blue Jays, right? The only reason why Jay, oops, and when I say lobotomized, I don't mean, maybe I should change the story. When I say lobotomized, I don't mean like they can't think or speak for themselves. I mean brainwashed, I suppose. So from Red Robins, they get brainwashed into thinking that they're like a higher power, that they're doing this for the good, like Atticus. Atticus was brainwashed. Then they go to the Blue Jays. From the Blue Jays, then they get indoctrinated into society for the whole core. Oh man, this is goes to the grave of his mother, because he never got to say goodbye, and that's really hard. I have a mother, obviously, and her and I have an interesting. When I write Johnny Blair's mom, I'm writing all the things I like about my mom. But Johnny Blair's mom is the mom I wish I had. My mom was very distant. She wasn't there. And she just left. Sunday. So I woke up at 6 a.m. I finished my meal prep that I was doing yesterday. Just put them in the containers. I ate. And now it's 8 a.m. It's 8:28. So I'm half an hour late. But that's okay. And now I'm just going to edit. I'm probably going to edit this thing, then just put it up. And then basically edit till 3 p.m. That's all I'm doing. And yeah, edit means I have like just like projects. Like I'm working on this short film called Goodbye, so I have to do that. I probably have to go get a shot, so that's okay. I have to do that. And just yeah, today I like to. But today we're practicing that thing we talked about yesterday, where we will be like just consuming media that internalizes Johnny Blair. Like I'm going to be watching. Hello, I'm watching Johnny. I'm not watching Johnny Blair. I'm watching Cowboy Bebop. I am writing. I am writing, but the thing is I'm really tired from work. So instead of I don't have TikTok anymore, and I don't have Instagram. I deleted them so I don't go on my phone. My phone's in my other room, and so I'm trying to. I'm trying not to put so much pressure on just the writing aspect, just because like I feel like I'm really tired and drained from today. And so I think if I just write today, it wouldn't be good, So I do have my notebook here, so I'm going to try to write some dialogue, but I'm obviously going to define it on like the lap on Judy. I'm watching Cowboy Bebop. I think Cowboy Bebop is a good world building structure or like a blueprint, because Cowboy Bebop is enough, I guess. It's enough disbelief that I'm like, yeah, they're in a spaceship. That's the pedal? Cool. Look, they're flying now and stuff. But they never really tell you how the spaceship flies or how these planets work or how, like, it's very, like, look at this. This is a different planet. They're on a different planet right now. But it doesn't explain how. How did all of this happen on this planet? It doesn't explain it, but at the same time, you don't need an explanation because it's so close to like being your home. And that's the kind of world I want Johnny Blair to be, where they have Judy and she's a spaceship. But how I explain it is like Gadget constructed it through using old parts from the Red Robin, Blue Jays facility. Like they had ships and shit, and like he just like used an old Hummer or whatever, and um, kind of built it, I guess, you know, from scrap. So I haven't written Johnny Blair in 2 days. Wait, no, that's a lie. I have written Johnny Blair. I wrote Johnny Blair this morning, and I wrote Johnny Blair last night. Tonight is the only night I haven't wrote Johnny Blair for this whole week, and it is Wednesday. There's smudges on my camera. Can I get it up? Smudge, smudge. I'm getting good sound. How's this? How's this? It's fine. How am I feeling today? He's let go. That's what he needs to do by the end of it. And that's what he does. At the end of the story, should I say it? Yeah, why not, I guess. No one's going to read it. But at the end of the story, Johnny Blair, he forgives Veronica. And Veronica's kind of like... Veronica isn't the antagonist. No, sorry. Veronica is not the person that put everything in motion for Johnny Blair to lose so much. She's not the reason why he's like that. She too is the other side of Johnny Blair. Knows that Veronica is sad, lonely. Do you know something? Angry, afraid. Do you notice? Can you see it? Yeah, okay. So Veronica's all these things, but guess what? So is JB, so is Johnny. Johnny's all these fucking things. That's the other thing. So Johnny is all these things, and Veronica is all these things, but the only difference is that Veronica, she can get as much as she wants. She can do whatever she wants. She can, she has this relentless ruthlessness that Johnny Blair has to suppress, and he is jealous of that, you know? Like, he's jealous of Veronica. Jealous. But here's the thing. So that jealousy turns into hate. So that jealousy turns into hate. Hate. Now, but what does that hate mean, right? If Veronica's like Johnny and Johnny hates Veronica, Johnny hates himself. Boom. So Johnny hates himself. That's what Veronica... Finally, I didn't fucking spell it. It's stupid. That's what Veronica triggers. That's what Veronica triggers. So it's very important that Johnny realizes that he doesn't want that. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want to be that person. He doesn't want to be sad, lonely, angry, and afraid anymore. He's fucking sick of it. And so that's why he wants to now help Veronica, because he sees himself in her and he wants to save her. So in a way, when Veronica gets defeated, because obviously, JB is forgiven. So that's why it's called Johnny Blair, really. I know through the story, it's very like, it's not like Johnny's in the background, he's part of the story, but it's very much about Gadget, about Ben, about Atticus. Like, they're all moving parts and pieces and stuff. But the whole story is what Johnny has to learn. Johnny has to get something from the journey. And here's another thing that's really important for Veronica. So Johnny, okay. So it's very important to note that Veronica has everything that Johnny Blair wants. But at the same time, Johnny I'm going to spell this right today. Johnny has everything Veronica needs. Right? So Johnny has everything Veronica needs. He has love, compassion, friends, love, compassion, empathy. He has all these things that are like given to him up from a daily basis. These are all given to him from Dex, Gadget, Ben, Atticus, Sadie, and Jacob. He gets all these things from these people that he met. And of course, there's argument, well, without Veronica, he wouldn't need all this. But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, Johnny needs to learn that. Johnny needs to learn what happened. Johnny needs to learn that Veronica doing all this shitty things, that the birds doing all this shitty things, like they don't matter anymore. What's done is done. All he can do is do better. And like he has all these things in spite of all that, in spite of all the killing and stuff. And so he learns that Veronica doesn't have any of this. So again, we go from that idea of like, what does someone want compared to what does someone need? So Johnny thinks he wants revenge. He thinks he wants destruction. He thinks he wants heroism, maybe. But he doesn't need that. What he needs is love, compassion, friends, empathy. And then he gets it from Dex, Gadget, Ben, Atticus, Sadie, and Jacob. So we go back to Veronica. What does she need? Veronica's kind of crazy. But Veronica thinks that she needs she needs power. She needs success. So let's write that down. Okay. I know this is kind of messy, but so is Veronica. She's a very messy character. So Veronica, what does she want? Okay, so she wants power. Control. Do you notice? Power, control. So Veronica wants power, control. Oh, these are the big ones. so she wants power and control, but who else wants that? Johnny, right? But like, what does she need? She also needs love, compassion, friends, empathy. And that's what she gets at the end as well, because like, it gets pretty messy at the end, but Gadget does eventually get Veronica. He does get Veronica and Ben all together once again to be a family. It's not the way that Veronica would like it to be. She gets her arm chopped off, but that's okay. That's okay. Things happen. I guess that's where I'm at. I guess like I'm angry about all these things that like just happened. Like even the hotel, like it happened. It's a thing that happened. But like, if I don't move on, I'm stuck in that place. I need to move on. Because what do I want? What do I want? I want success. I want Johnny Blair to be done. I want to make films. I want to write stories. I want to do all these other things. So I guess I don't need like revenge. I don't need destruction. I don't need power. I don't need control. I just need to move on, to forgive. It's just hard, man. I've been just coming home every day and working on this. It's been just hard. Like, it's good. I'm glad I'm working on it. Glad I'm building character notes. I'm glad I'm putting it all out here so that it's easier to write. I don't know. Oh, one personal thing that Johnny needs is happiness. And Veronica needs happiness too. Maybe one day they'll find it. I don't know. It's hard to find, but I'm sure they'll be okay. They'll get it soon, but just not yet, I guess. They're just busy. Makes sense.